All right, folks, it is May and it's time for our annual, hey, let's talk about shade kind of series of videos. And before we get started on how we install and how we choose, I wanted to kind of have one video to kind of give the history of shade cloth and for people to understand where this kind of application got developed and how you can use it on your farm and maybe how to ask some better questions. And so one of those questions is the first thing that most people ask whenever they're first starting out or call customer service, and that's what percentage of shade do I need? It's not so easy to answer because two farmers using the same shade cloth in two different states of two different crops in two different regions can get vastly different results. We need to understand that shade cloth percentage is reducing the amount of light coming in. It's not about temperature. And I think a lot of people start to panic whenever it starts to get hot and they're like, hey, I need 50% to reduce the temperature by 50%. That's not going to happen. Plants respond to available light, leaf temperature, airflow, humidity, soil moisture, and the overall stress to the plant. So 30% is just, for a lot of people, especially in the southern states, just starting to take the edge off of some of those overlying factors whenever that light and that solar radiation starts to hit the plants and starts to warm up the soil. So tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, and melons all love, need, and thrive in a lot of light. And so we have chosen to put those crops under 30% shade. Now at the end of the video, we're going to discuss why a lot of times whenever you just in general call into Bootstrap Farmer or in our blogs or in some of our past videos, we talk about that 40-degree latitude, so Kansas City and below and Kansas City and above, being kind of our starting differentiating point between 50% down low and 30% in the northern states. We're reducing a little bit of the light coming in, but we're letting those plants thrive and get everything they need. But that doesn't mean that we're reducing the amount of airflow, the irrigation that we're using, or not using correct greenhouse film to kind of dissipate and diffuse the light and then reduce the amount of solar radiation coming in that's coming through and hitting the leaves. So when we talk about 50%, we're taking a look at some of the crops that still need light and still probably need quite a bit of it, but we're putting them on structures that as they may require more light or as conditions change, let's say we have a few days of clouds and we don't want to reduce it so much, we can lift these on and off very easily on these low tunnels. So if we take a look at mixed crops and crops that would do better with more protection, especially down south, we're using 50% shade cloth in this 30-footer in which we have experimental tropicals, medicinal plants, crops that will require a little bit more shade. We have some ornamental ferns in here, we have strawberries, we have herbs, and we have all these different plants, which means the plants that may be over here may not necessarily be the same light requirements as these or these. So we need to make a decision on what we're putting in this hoop house and how we're going to, in general, shade it and how we're going to water this bed versus that bed or placement. And that some of these crops are lower, and the more we head north in this hoop house, we raise the plant height because we don't have anything going in this middle part of the hoop house. And so that shade that would naturally be there is not going to harm some of the sun-loving plants that we put down here. So it's not just about shade percentage, it's what's going in the bed and where they're being placed and how they're being watered. We also have to take a look at, we have roll-up sides, we have insect netting, we also have fans up top, and we have a lot of ventilation going through here. So if you're asking yourself, this is still so confusing, why is it like this? Why does it have to be so hard? And we have to go to the point of origin on where shade cloth even began its use on the farm. So we have to begin with Bootstrap Farmer sells to a very unique market of market gardeners, home gardeners, serious hobbyists that is going to grow all kinds of different crops, either for market, personal use, or even some flowers. And so when people call in and they're starting out for the first time and they go, hey, Bootstrap Farmer, what shade do we need? And we have to go, where are you located? What are you going to grow? And what kind of structures are you going to have? These are some of those leading questions that we have to ask from a customer service standpoint in order to kind of funnel you down into the best option. But if we start at that origin point of why shade cloth even exists, we have to look at big commercial growers. This is where the money is. A lot of agricultural shade cloth came out of commercial nursery greenhouse, ornamental, and propagation farms and nurseries where growers are managing thousands of plants at a time. These operations are usually trying to produce uniform crops for contracts with predictable timing, sizing, color, and quality across entire production cycles. Shade cloth became one way to help reduce leaf scorch, transplant stress, bolting, water demand, and excessive greenhouse heat buildup during peak solar periods. So hopefully understanding that context helps you understand kind of why it's so hard to pick a truly unique shade cloth option, shade color for you when there's so many options out there and it's not just a cut and dry copy and paste answer. A lettuce producer growing one crop under controlled conditions approaches shade very differently than a diversified market farm growing tomatoes, flowers, peppers, herbs, and greens side by side under changing outdoor conditions. In many commercial systems, the cloth is only a part of a larger environmental control strategy. And these are things a small market farm just can't really compete against. You have giant companies with giant contracts that are being paid to produce a set number of plants that's just one specific variety that's in optimum conditions. So it's very easy to pick a correct shade cloth and percentage for that, knowing that at different times of the day, sensors are going to deploy the shade cloth and take it up and take it down, move it across. The ventilation may change, the labor may change. All of these things are hyper controlled, and we just don't have that ability for small market gardeners or in a garden setting. And I think that's very clearly shown right here, where our propagation house, where our most tender plants in a southern state, we've chosen to use 70% and a little shade structure here and over there, versus our 30-footer, which is going to be heat-loving, diversified crops. We jumped down to a 50%, and then as we showed in our tomato hoop house right over here, we have a 30%. So in this very small area, in this very small farm, we're looking at the difference between the two buildings. Look at all the shade that's between my foot and right there. And then you think about all the crops under here and behind me and all these different structures. Different things have different reasons for being. So before it gets any later, and if you're thinking about shade or it's already getting hot, I want you to think about there's thousands of other growers out there right now that's also thinking the same thing, and the people that are gonna have their shade in time are the people that's gonna order today. I'm not trying to hard sell you, it's just, I've seen this over the last 10 years of being here with Bootstrap Farmer. People panic in June and July when they forget to order or they procrastinate to order, and they get upset whenever cut times increase, shipping issues may happen. So let's go ahead and get those orders in now. And up next, we're going to talk about how we installed each one of these shade cloths on these different structures. We'll see you then.